Welcome to SVGTV News for Friday, May 12, 2017. I am Rochelle Batiste with the details. Two religious colleges here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines were on Thursday, May 11, 2017, officially registered at a ceremony held by the National Accreditation Board and the Accreditation Unit in collaboration with the Ministry of Education. The institutions, namely the Baptist Bible College of the Caribbean and the MINS SVG, formerly known as the SVG Institute for Theological Education, now join the ranks of several other post-secondary and tertiary level institutions which have been registered and accredited through the NAB. Nikita Tony tells us more on Thursday's ceremony in this report.
Empowered under the Further and Higher Education Accreditation Act of 2006 to register and accredit tertiary level institutions and their programs, the National Accreditation Board, NAB, and the Accreditation Unit held a ceremony on Thursday afternoon to officially register two religious colleges, the Baptist Bible College of the Caribbean and MINS St. Vincent, which function here in SVG. Pointing out that the NAB aims to ensure the concepts of quality assurance is emphasized, acting chairperson of the NAB, Joy Brown, highlighted that the event signals progress on the journey to eventual accreditation.
We must therefore insist on all facets of quality assurance to guide our functioning and serve our people's aspirations. The certificates which you will have received at the end of this ceremony indicate that certain criteria have been met and that as institutions you are progressing along an upward spiral leading to enhanced performance as a service provider of higher education.
Noting that both institutions are no strangers to this nation's educational landscape, Minister of Education Sinclair Prince said the ceremony forms part of the process to ensure that the quality of education offered by the institutions is of the highest standard and well recognized.
The Grenadines. It's coming at a time when the entire populace is turning its gaze on education as a pillar of development. Indeed, the country is focusing more and more on education as the education takes root and expands. We, of course, realize the value of religious education. In fact, our Constitution enshrines that we are founded on the supremacy of God.
Featured speaker at the event, lecturer at the St. Vincent and the Grenadines Community College, Dr. Godwin James, emphasized the importance for there to be quality assurance of all institutions which offer higher education. Given 4 reasons for his conclusion, Dr. James noted that this was so due to the country's emerging pluralistic higher education landscape.
The need for students to be assured that they are obtaining value for money, the need to ensure portability of qualifications, the need to maintain the public's confidence in our higher education institutions, and the need to ensure that graduates are fit for purpose. I wish to recommend to the National Accreditation Board that it works in tandem with institutions of higher learning in St. Vincent and the Grenadines to create robust internal quality assurance mechanisms within these institutions to complement the work of the National Accreditation Board.
In keeping with the growing higher education accreditation concerns, the NAB continues to lend support to institutions with a view towards regularizing their accreditation status. Nikita Tony reporting for SVGTV News.
Thank you, Nikita. This country will be the next stop in the series of public education activities being mounted by the Eastern Caribbean Telecommunications Authority, ECTEL. Bill as the EC Bill Road shows, the activities will include presentations and discussions on the new draft Electronic Communications Bill, the EC Bill, and accompanying new regulations. The new legislation has been developed by ECTEL to provide new tools to manage this change in sector sector. While here, the team from ECTEL will make a presentation to the members of Cabinet of Ministers on Wednesday, May 17th to discuss the new draft EC bill and accompanying new regulations. On Thursday, May 18th, similar presentations will be made to civil society organizations, parliamentarians, and telecommunications service providers. The Electronic Communications EC Bill for the management of the electronic communications sector will replace the Telecommunications Act. The new regulations address issues such as access to cable landing stations, consumer protection, retail pricing, wholesale access, and guidelines on market access and assessment of significant market power. The roadshow is a collaborative effort of ECTEL and the National Telecommunications Regulatory Commission, the NTRC, of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. It will provide opportunities for the ECTEL team to further clarify the main provisions of the bill and accompanying regulations, and for the regulatory team to respond to the key concerns from stakeholders, including service providers. Presentations of the legislation have been made to stakeholders in other ECTEL member states. Administrative delays are among the issues which have led to the late start on some much-needed roadwork here, especially on secondary roads. That's according to Prime Minister Dr. Ralph Gonsalves while speaking earlier this week at the opening of GECO's newest branch office in South Rivers. In his constituency, PM Gonsalves said he had hoped that the work would commence last month, but things got delayed, noting that with the continued developments taking place in rural areas, there is need to improve the road network there.
Negotiate over $90 million. The first phase is 30-something million for the secondary roads and feeder roads. And I was hoping that we would have started by April, but there were some bureaucratic delays, administrative delays, money's coming out of the Middle East. And when they told me June, July we may start, I know that's when the rainy season going to start going. I thought that we should begin even a smaller project up front. So I have located $6 million at the Bank of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, so that you will see shortly some work being done through that particular project. In fact, down to yesterday evening, when I came in from Trinidad, I went to do something. I was speaking to Julian Francis, and to get all the pieces of roads. Hopefully, if I could get them by Wednesday afternoon in Cabinet, so that we can provide the approval for them, if not shortly thereafter.
Opposition leader Dr. Godwin Friday is expressing concern that the private sector has been hit with a double sword and is feeling the brunt of the 1% increase on the value-added tax VAT, which took effect here on May 1st, and the increase in the minimum wage. Dr. Friday, who spoke on Nice Radio today, said that Vincentians must take note of the disregard the ULP administration has for them.
You know, the government essentially pocketing more money through that, and they pass the cost on to the private sector, to the people who are providing jobs by raising the minimum wage. This effectiveness, of course, sometimes those people who have to increase the wages, nobody's saying that people are not entitled to have that, that they will pass it on to the consumer. And many of those persons who have enjoyed the increase in the wages will at some point also consumers. So they will be paying for that is passed on as well. In the meantime, the higher prices will attract VAT at the 16% percentage, which in absolute terms is a larger amount of money that you're collecting. So the cycle goes around and you're paying more, and the only person who benefits from it really is the government, because the money that you get in the minimum wage increase is being eaten up by the VAT that was increased. And you know, VAT was increased twice in 2 years.
Dr. Friday said his team will continue to reach out to Vincentians. He also highlighted a town hall meeting they have planned for the community of Choppins on May 25th.
We care about the circumstances in which you are, and we know that if we work together, we can make things better for the people of this country, and we will do so as a new Democratic Party government. And I pledge that as the leader of the party, that we will continue to reach out to people, and we look forward to doing so. As you mentioned, that we're going to Choppins on the 25th. We'll have a walkabout there before, and then a town hall meeting to discuss national and also issues of a local nature, and we'll have chance for interaction with the community, because that's the nature of a town hall meeting. It's not where people stand there and give long speeches and everybody else sit and listen. Sure. It's another opportunity to continue the dialogue with the people in the communities where they live, and so that they can inform our decision making, inform our policies, and just generally make us better informed to represent them.
In light of the recent ban on the usage of styrofoam products here, the government has seen it fit to sensitize the public on the alternative products available. Earlier today, the Ministry of Trade and Commerce hosted an exhibition in capital Kingston displaying the various paper-based products which are deemed to be a healthier choice. Speaking to SVGTV News Trade Officer 2 in the Ministry of Trade, Okolo John Patrick, said the exhibition is necessary to educate Vincentians on the reasons for the ban on styrofoam products, which he maintains will give persons a greater appreciation for their health.
The reason for the ban, which is because of the environmental impact it has on the economy, and also it is associated with cancer. So we want to ensure that we have a healthier nation, and also we are signed on to the green economy, so we want to promote that.
Right. And how effective do you think this exhibition would be today? Well,
so far,
what is the response you're getting?
So far it's going good, because a lot of persons heard about styrofoam, but they weren't aware of the alternatives. So far we have been getting a good impact, and the general public, they have appreciated the initiatives, because they are now able to see, and we are now able to inform them where to go and get them and the various prices.
When asked about the leniency on the ban, the first phase of which came into effect on May 1st, John Patrick said that the government is accommodating to consumers by giving them a grace period.
In terms of the consumption, persons can utilize the styrofoam up to the 31st of January 2018. And also we have been speaking with the businesses, and we would have made the necessary adjustment to facilitate their business and also trade. There are many persons who would have pre-ordered the styrofoam before the ban was implemented. So there's a 3 months grace period after the 1st of May. 3 months after, customs will still accommodate the importation of the styrofoam. It will become illegal after the 31st of January 2018, and the penalty is $5,000 and or 12 months. So you can get both. You can be charged a fine of $5,000 and 12 months imprisonment.
The trade officer said Vincentians have been responding to the ban along with the necessary information very well.
Yeah, I think most persons would understand, and they're supporting the initiatives. We've been getting some reactions from the business owners, the businesses, because of their stocks. But we are working with them, and we are anticipating with the influx of visitors for the Carnival and the Christmas that volume will be drastically reduced, and we will all adhere to the 31st of January 2018. Well, we are hoping to also spread the information in the schools, because you know our children, they are our future. So we'll be doing school presentations, and we'll be looking at possibilities of having the topic being used in terms like the public speaking competitions. So persons can research, and even having a competition or an ad on the TV and the radio, a little jingle or something to assist with the sensitization.
John Patrick further took the opportunity to give a brief comparison between the styrofoam and paper-based products.
So these are the styrofoam that are banned. So these are just a few of what we have in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and all these are what is presently available. So these are the alternatives. And we have companies, there's CK Grave, we have premium products, and also Trinity agencies. They can source these alternatives. Also, we have been working along with the Embassy of the Republic of China and Taiwan, and they would have given us emails for contacts in Taiwan, so persons can actually import.
Residents of Otley Hall are again rattled by the killing of minibus operator Andy Garrick Brown. According to the police, the incident occurred around 11:35 Thursday night while the 43-year-old was making his way home. He reportedly received several gunshot wounds to the chest and died upon arrival at the Milton Cato Memorial Hospital. Speaking to SVGTV News earlier today on the recent increase of criminal activities in the Otley Hall community, a superintendent of police, Ruth Jacobs, says they are working to arrest the situation and maintains that the outpost station there have been effective.
Just about, could be about 3 weeks ago, or about a month or so, we had a shooting death over in the Otley Hall area where a female died. And then in this short period of time, there is another one. I will not totally say there has been an increase, but we cannot take things for granted. We have to continue to do what we have to do, because you know, we have an outpost in the Otley Hall area.
And what is the effectiveness of that outpost?
As I told you before, you can even put the outpost in front of the police station, and someone want to kill someone, they will kill someone. The men at the outpost, they work very hard, and their presence cause a lot of things to be on the down low, because if we didn't have them there, it would have been a difference.
As to the circumstances surrounding the death of the van driver, Superintendent Jacobs said the police have a theory which would lead the investigation.
Every crime situation is different. The circumstances are different. We have a theory in this one that we are working with, and we have a suspect according to the theory that we are working with, and we are working and doing our best to ensure that we have this one also under control.
Meantime, close relative to the deceased, Sinette Lowe, described him to be a jovial person, and that though it has been said that his killing was as a result of a robbery, she doesn't believe that.
He have plenty lady friends, you know. Love him, give a hard treat, and you will give him back with nothing. Very nice jovial, nobody give him a bad name. Very jovial friend.
And he died on the spot?
No, because when the conductor, he called the conductor until he got shot. When he run up there, he tell the conductor you want water. Then we tried to get him in his own van. Somebody take the key because the conductor get the key and his purse.
Lowe explained that she is fearful of the crime situation in the Otley Hall community. She said she had a close relationship with the deceased Garrett Brown, and upon hearing the news about his shooting, she was in disbelief, having just seen him.
All my trains are overseas, so he comes and have a look at me. Every day he eats lunch, but his lunch is late night. I eat the other way, right? So you will come at 11, you love cold food. Yeah, you come at 11, after 10, and eat his thing. He didn't too long eat the lunch and was going up. When I heard the shot, and I get up, I see people in the road. Then the lady with the shop, they called me, seen it, You know, and they get shot? That was it.
Oh, Jesus. What time was this?
11 when I checked my phone.
Did you really believe Andy got shot?
No.
Because you just saw?
Just wash out the pot, everything.
Garrett Brown's killing comes just on the heels of that of Shamil Bowens, who was gunned down on April 12th in the Otley Hall area. Police say the investigation into the killing of the mother of 5 is still ongoing. Garrett Brown's death brings the total murder rate here to 10 for the year thus far. And in other news, more time and energy must be given to develop the family, an important institution in the nation. That's according to Reverend Adolph Davis of the Kingston Methodist Church as he spoke with SVGTV News on activities to be held in commemoration of Empowerment and Family Month. Reverend Davis said that many of society's ills can be traced back to the family, hence the need for activities to empower it.
Our concern for our society, whether it is with crime, whether it is with the issue of discipline, and I think most, if not everyone would appreciate that we can locate these problems in various ways in the family. So we're deliberate in our focus on the family, and as such we have had, you know, men's conference and women's conference so far, and we have a couple of other activities coming up, and part of it is to really see how we could empower people to make sounder decisions, better decisions, and live a life that really is more productive, constructive for the well-being of themselves, the church, and society.
Reverend Davis stated that the month of activities comes at a time when many Vincentians have lost their sense of direction and highlighted the many ways in which this can be seen.
Yeah, right and wrong, and when you look at how our young people behave, when you look at how parents behave, when you look at the crime situation, we really have been a people who have lost our sense of self. When you look at last year, for example, for Carnival, it's not new, but a man, you know, wins a crown with celebrating being a rummist, and how, as a society, those are things we now glorify and celebrate. There's a lot that has gone wrong because we have lost our sense of who we are under God, our moral conscience. You know, people talk about some of the political divisions and some of the corruption or compromise in workplaces, whether private or public, and all of that goes back to who we understand ourselves to be under God.
Meanwhile, representative of the Methodist Church, Emil Duggan, spoke on some of the activities Vincentians can look forward to for the month.
Number of activities. The climax activity will be our Aldous Gate celebration on the 28th of May, which will take place at the Annisvale Sporting Complex. But before that, we'll have a prayer caravan starting on the leeward side at Chateaubelair, and on the windward side at Georgetown, where we'll be coming from those respective areas, respective sites, praying for different key issues in our country and encouraging persons to join us as we fellowship and take back our country for Christ. There are a number of activities that we have coming up. On the 20th, there's a parenting workshop, and as Reverend Davis said before, it's very important for us to understand how important the role of parent is in making our society a better place and grooming those that are coming up to lead our country. We also have a leadership workshop. Leadership is very important in our country. In any aspect, any institution, any organization, in society, it is very important. We have a leadership conference, and we're encouraging all persons to come out.